Hello, my kako. It's Monday again, and I hope you all had a great week since our last talk story, which I responded to a question from Jackie. Mahalo, Jackie. That was a good question. And since I've received additional questions, thought-provoking questions, stimulates mind as well as heart. But for those of you maybe joining us this first time, it's a reminder that I'm inviting and welcoming questions from you. We'll make an attempt to respond to them every Monday, and I'll do my best. And like I said before, though, your questions may be a source of learning for me as well. And so thank you for the questions, because it is through those questions that we continue to learn. Yeah. And acknowledging that we can't replace wisdom with knowledge. They go hand in hand. So as we seek more knowledge and gain greater understanding, that we also have the opportunity to learn and connect to the wisdom that gives our understanding and knowledge greater meaning. So, mahalo. But this evening I want to actually answer two questions. One manini one small one. That first one is whether or not, this comes from Kumu, mahalo. Whether or not I'll do small groups, or I would entertain doing small group classes. And the answer is Maikai, yes. Good night, yeah. I plan to do that. So if you're interested in participating in a small class, with email me and just indicate, yeah, Kumu, interested in small class participation. And you can send that to Kumu at layofthepacific.com. That's Kumu at layofthepacific.com. Okay? Okay. Now, the other question is a little deeper, and it comes from Jennie. Jennie, ikalamai, I might not be able to get all the answer in one time. It might need to come in parts. But it was a very thought-provoking question. Thank you. So I'm going to take a moment to read it, or at least your thoughts, so we can connect to the mana of the question. So here I go. You wrote to us and saying, I would love to know how you think we can build more understanding and acceptance between all the people of various races who now call the islands home, while honoring and preserving Hawaiian heritage. Good question, especially now, yeah, when so much of the ha, this tension, hooky, that's going on in our world, having to do with race relations. You know, I say race, where are we going? What's the race? But unfortunately, it's been around for a very long time, and I think it's rooted in. And I think we talked about this in one of our cleansings recently. That this is the mana, the energy that goes all the way back to Abel and Cain. If brothers couldn't handle, they couldn't keep it together. One brother killed another brother. So imagine when people don't think they're related because of skin color or dogmatic differences. Remember, two brothers killed one another, and that started it all. We're still in that mana. We have to keep. And then those two brothers led to other brothers. If you recall, the sons of Moses had been fighting for 2,000 years. Got different religions. And then we bring the people from all over the world to help them fight the battle. 2,000 years. So Hawaii, we have the opportunity because one, we invite people here, whether it's the government or Hawaii itself. Might come. 10 million people come last time before the pandemic. It's the manna of this place. So let me see if I can address at least the concept of how we build more understanding and acceptance between people of various races. Well, first of all, I think if we acknowledge that there's really only one race, and that's the human race, as far as when we speak about the races, and that human race have different color cars, different vehicles. But if we use a metaphor of race and a verb or a noun, think about a race, car race, circles. One of the fastest growing sports in America is NASCAR. NASCAR. Think about it, People sitting in a round, watching cars going around and around and around. So we just kind of hanging around. And all the cars have different sponsors, have different drivers, different colors, different numbers. Where are you going? Not much different than people with different name, different culture, different colors. Because Papa Honu, Earth is round. Round. And we're all sitting around, going around, just like NASCAR. Where are we going? So I think part of it is recognizing that we're all islanders. Doesn't matter what color we are. So I turn to the reef as an example. The concept of lokahi. To be one, to join one, to be in solidarity. And we don't always have to agree. We can agree to disagree, but we don't have to be disagreeable about it. This is lokahi. And I think the question speaks to lokahi. Is to begin to recognize we're all connected. That what we do to one another, we do to ourselves. So there's an old statement that says we teach people how to treat us. So therefore, if we want others to honor and respect who we are and our place, then we need to demonstrate that respect ourselves. Welcome them with Allah, with respect. Despite the difference in what we see, and knowing that inside we're all the same. We're all connected. We were all indigenous to this island called Earth. I like to say if the spaceship came down from way out there and decided to say, hey, your planet is about to blow up and we're going to save you guys. Come inside. They put us all in a spaceship. They take us off. And as we watch in dismay, we turn and we see the Earth explode. Gone. No more. When we get to wherever we're going, they're going to refer to all of us, regardless of color, size, skin, religion. They're going to tell us, hey, you the indigenous earthlings, the people from that blue island called Earth. And we might find out that in that place, those people that came to get us, they tell us, the gods you used to pray to? That's us. They might tell us, the food you used to eat? Not good for you. You have to eat our food now. Better for you. Oh, you know the clothes you wore? That doesn't work here. We get two suns over here. You need different clothes. In that moment, that instant, our religion, our food, our clothes, and then even our language. In fact, they don't even use the mouth, vala'au. Only the mind. Imagine they thinking, and we can hear, but we cannot talk back because we haven't developed that. Our level of trust of one another hasn't allowed us to get to that point where we can read one another's minds or let people in our brain because we don't trust. But over there, they trust. Now, obviously, this is hypothetical, but think about it from that perspective. At that moment, it doesn't matter what color, what race. It's only the human race at that point. And we have to learn then that we're all connected and that we have a shared memory, and that shared memory is Earth. The question is, what will our memories be of Earth and what we did to it and to one another? So maybe rather than waiting until then, we start now. Begin to recognize that there is no race. It's only us, it's only people. And yeah, we have cultural values, but you know, when we say cultural values, I think what we're really saying is the values that we prioritize and give priority to in the places in which we were originated or where we're living. So our Hawaiian cultural values and practices are those that we subscribe to here because they help us relate to our food, to our environment, and to one another, and of course to Akua. We prioritize those values differently than someone else. But that does not mean that we're in conflict of values. Maybe we have conflict in priorities. And so what we need to do is become aligned in our priorities. And maybe share with others that our priority is to aloha one another. Our priority here in Hawaii is to aloha the aina. Aloha ke kai. Malama I ke kai. Take care of the ocean. Malama aina. Malama ke kino. Aloha I ke kai, I ke kai. We love one another. There's only one rule. So it can make it difficult, make it very deep, but I think the simple answer to that question is aloha. And hopefully help others to recognize that whatever they call it, wherever they're from, that thing that allows them to connect to one another without having to use words, without using signs, to recognize the ano, the seed, the akua, the spirit in each person. And not fight over the things that are temporary as much as we are temporary. Yeah. So Jennie, I don't know. I think that's one start. When we talk about acceptance, what is acceptance? Yeah. There's a difference between accepting and focusing on exceptions. The exception of the rule, the difference. Acceptance is a similarity that we've come together. Acceptance through respect, like on the reef. Different color fish, different size fish, corals, all the differences. A healthy reef is one that respects one another. And there's nobody on the reef telling the fish when to stop, when to go. It's all respect. It's not all sharks. And it's not all coral. It's not all manini. It's not all uhu. But it's all wanohana, lokahi. Respect. Working together on the reef. So I wonder how they do it. I think it's just Allah. Everyone has his, her, its place. Because we're all connected. We all came from the same place. Obviously, there's more to this deeper question, but why don't we start there and recognize that we're all indigenous to Earth, island Earth, suspended in a sea of space. And the question is, can we work together to malama aina, malama ikikai, honor the land, sky, and sea, and improve the relationships between you and me, us, to go from me to we. Yo, okay, my guy. See you next week. Send in the questions, and we'll try again. Aloha, hoi hoi, malama pono. Take care.